AdapTable now provides 5 styled columns, so I thought it might be worth just giving a brief overview of what they are, and each of these is worth a video in its own right, but this kind of explains them kind of as a group. Essentially, a styled column in AdapTable is a way where we allow you to render quite complex column styles with just a few clicks. As you can see here from our documentation, we provide 5: a gradient style, a percent bar, a badge, a sparkline, and a checkbox column. So let's look at them all together. This is a bit of a kind of extreme example, but it gives you a sense of how they work. Let's make this full screen. So as I say, there's 5 types. The first we'll look at is the checkbox column, because that's probably the easiest. And that is any boolean column you can choose to display as a checkbox. So instead of true false, you can just see a checkbox, and obviously if the column's editable, the checkbox itself is editable. The second type is a new one called a badge column, and you can see 2 here, one in name and one in closed issues. And as you can see, what it does is it essentially renders the value in a cell as a badge, and you can make all the badges in the column to be the same style, or as we have here, you can have different rules. So here we've got 3 badges in this column, and you can also, as you can see, add an icon. So the badge style is a nice way of kind of visually showing the cell values in very distinct ways. Another type is a gradient style, and there's 2 here. There's one in issue change, and there's one in this column here, open PRs. And what that does is it shows each cell value as a coloured gradient based on a min and max. And so you could do one for the whole cell, which the whole column as we've got here. So you can see here, with the darker the colour, the higher the value is, and we've chosen purple. And the lower the lower the value, the lighter the gradient. But you can also, as we've done here, have multiple. So you can have traffic light effects, or here where you've got negative and positive numbers, we've provided 2 gradients, so the negative numbers go from a sort of dark red to a light red, and then the positive numbers go from a very light green to a dark green. So that's the gradient style. Similar to that is a percent bar style, and you've got 2 here, one for GitHub stars and one for closed PRs. And what they do is they show the column value as a percentage of its value to a range. So in this example here, we've got a single range. So each value in each cell value is shown as a little bar compared to the entire column. So the higher the value, the bigger the bar. And as you can see, you can also show actually the percent value itself, or indeed the cell value. Or as in this case, we've provided 3 ranges, a green, a yellow and an orange. So you can see the percent bar as a ratio of its own range. And both for percent bars and for gradients, you can actually make the cell not based on its own column, but against another column using something called column comparison. And the last type of styled column we're going to look at is these 2 here, history line and history area, where you can see the column values, and they have to be array values, as a sparkline. And there's different types you can provide. Here we can see line and area, but there's bar and others as well. So there we are. They're the 5 different styled columns in AdapTable. And the important thing to bear in mind is each of these can be configured at design time with just a few clicks, literally just 2 or 3 lines of config, or more importantly, you can define them at runtime. So for instance, I'll just do one now, but if I want to show language as a badge style, I can do that literally with just a couple of clicks. So let me choose the badge style. There we are, and we finish. So I hope that was interesting. It's a very brief overview to a much more complicated topic, but it hopefully allows you to see how in AdapTable we enable you either at runtime or design time to provide very, very powerful effects with a minimum amount of code. As always, thank you for watching. If you'd like a personalised demo or indeed your own free no obligation trial license, please get in touch to learn more. Thank you.